People who you hate, who've had success, if you refuse to learn from them, you've boxed yourself in. If you only learn from people who look exactly like you or doing exactly what you're doing, you're losing. Like, all of that stuff is the best, right? All of the early failures. I'm so proud of the videos that I put out however many years ago. You go back, watch my channel. I'm super boring. I have a suit and a tie on. I'm sitting down. I'm trying to memorize a script. And so I'm always like looking up and to the left a little bit to try to like remember what did I say. It's super awkward. People still go back and like, the content was decent, but the delivery was terrible. Like, it's cringeworthy to watch, but it also shows the journey, right? I don't want to just come out of the gate and be perfect. And part of being a great thought leader is sharing the vulnerabilities, sharing what your weaknesses are, sharing if you're nervous, or sharing. Nobody wants to learn from somebody who's perfect. They want to learn from somebody who is like them, who is either on the journey to figure it out or has figured something out. So if you're on the journey to find something, you haven't found it yet, don't pretend like you found it, because then you won't connect with people. But just you taking the step and going on a journey is inspiring, because a lot of people want to take the journey, but they're too afraid. So seeing you go off and do something will inspire them to do something in their life as well. So I secretly kind of want all of you to make a video that really sucks and post it, just to have the recall in 3 years to look back, like, holy cow, look at that in Toronto. That's the best. But I'm a weird kind of masochist or something. Like I like the suck. Like I like the pain and the struggle. I think it's the best. Like if there's something that is challenging or difficult or judgment, then I have to run towards it. And I think that's how you end up growing. I would be proud of a post. Like that's the game I tell myself. I'm proud of a terrible post, right? Tony and I were talking in the car on the way back yesterday, and I challenged him to do a freestyle rap in a way that he hadn't done it before. And I called him out on Instagram stories too, just to like double make sure that it happened. And I told him, like, even if it's a total fail, even if like you have to post something. Post, if it's garbage, post it, something. You need to build the momentum. You need to feel what it's like to like press post. And if you're super anxious and nervous and afraid of judgment, like then you have to do it. If you're afraid of judgment, then you have to go off and do that thing, just to release the fear of judgment. We had a dance team that won a local competition, and so we took them out to a nail salon as a celebration. And Alex and I went along because you were in it, right? You were in the group. He was in the performance group, and I was just going to support. And then one of the ladies joked, "It's like, hey, are you guys going to get your nails done too?" And the initial reply is, "No, I'm not going to get my nails done." But the only acceptable answer is that's not an expression of me. That's not how I express myself. But I caught a little moment of, I can't get my nails done because I have meetings and I have YouTube videos to make and I'm speaking at an event and I'm going to have my nails painted. That's ridiculous. And because I was afraid of that judgment, then I had to go and do it. Just to release it, just to feel it, just to walk around with my nails painted. Just because, right? Because like, you guys don't own me, right? Nobody out there owns me. And so if you're feeling, that's the way like I trick myself. If I ever feel that I'm playing small because of somebody else's opinion, then I have to go and do that thing, even if I didn't want to do the thing. Because releasing the fear of judgment serves me. So we got our nails painted. Alex went blue and then had to go teach that night or the next day at class. And I went orange with racing stripes. And it felt awkward for the first day, but also just feeling the judgment, right? So like going to pick up a package from my concierge and wanting to hide my nails. Like, no, I'm not hiding my nails. I'm going to show it off proudly. Just because, like I will eat the judgment all day long because it makes me stronger. Brahim has a great story. We're into Walmart and he was buying a hairdryer. Hairdryer? A blow dryer for his hair. And he DMs me to tell me the story. Well, you tell the story.
So the only one that was there was a pink one. So I picked it out and I was kind of hiding it between my arm and my thing. You wanted to see it. So I caught myself for the first time being scared of judgment. So then I just kind of lifted it out, held it up, and just walked around Walmart with it the entire time.
With his pink hairdryer, walking around. Look at me in my pink hairdryer, right? And the point isn't to show off or get in anybody's face. It's just to not be afraid of the judgment. And I think we play small by default. I think by default, we just go in and play small because of other people's judgments. And so it's when you can catch it, then you have to go off and do something. Like Brahim might have walked into Walmart and added to his collection of pink hair dryers and just like walk out normally by default. But when you can catch it, that's when you have to do something about it. So where this really sunk in for me was when I was walking on the street walking to TDS, and I was listening to music, and I had my headphones on, and I'm jiving and bouncing, I got my music on. And I live close to here, like a 15-minute walk away. And as I get to Yonge and Shepherd, the major intersection there's tons of people, so there's people, okay. Go small, right? And then I caught it. Like, why am I dancing small? Like, who cares? Because of Edwin, Why am I like, who cares? There's a bunch of strangers. And so because of that, then I had to make it even bigger. I'm dancing there on the street corner, not to get in anybody's face, not to show them up, not to say, hey, look at me, but just to release the judgment. And the thing I think of is, how many times have I walked to that street corner and done the exact same thing and just never caught it? Like hundreds of times. I've probably done that dancing down the street, being super happy, and then get to the street corner and then just by default. And so because I caught it, then I had to go off and change it. Even though dancing giant on a street corner is not an expression of myself, because I was nervous of people's judgments, and I had to go off and do that thing. And so the more that you can catch those things and then do the thing that you're afraid of, that's when you start to shift your identity. When you catch it and you don't do it, that actually makes it worse. If you catch yourself, if Brahim caught himself in the Walmart with the pink thing crouched over and he didn't go off and then continued and he had the awareness, that makes it worse. Then you reinforce the negative behavior. Then you're teaching yourself that I'm the kind of person who, when I'm faced with judgment or criticism, I play small. Or even the fear of judgment or criticism, I play small. So it's super important, because if you can catch it, first step is just awareness, because most of the time you won't even catch it. I've probably played small 100 times already today without even noticing it. But when you catch it, what do? If you jump into the discomfort, then you start to set that new identity for yourself. If you don't do it and you shy away, then you're creating a negative pattern that becomes really difficult to break out of. So that's why I love jumping into the pain or the judgment or the frustration, because I know something great's coming. Okay, but anytime you feel afraid, then you have to do that thing. Just to release the fear that, especially with judgment. If you're afraid of diving onto a metal spike, okay, be afraid of that. You don't have to go off and do it. But fear of judgment is a thing that you need to destroy, especially if you want to be a thought leader, because you will get judged. And not all your messages will resonate with people. And that's okay. You can't let the fear of one person's negative feedback prevent you from getting started. If we get negative feedback, one, it could just be a straight out hater. Somebody they're a hater, they're negative. And I just have empathy for them. I think your hater makes you greater. I think I just have empathy for them. And the best part of their day is coming to your Instagram post or your YouTube video and leaving a negative comment. How crappy does their life have to be for that to be the highlight of their day? Pretty bad. And so I feel sorry for them. I then also try to look, is there anything in this that I can learn from? Because I think being able to learn from different styles makes you better. If you can only take feedback when it's sugar-coated and really nicely wrapped, hey, I really loved your video and it's great that you're out doing this, but I had a little tiny, little suggestion, maybe don't rock so much in your chair when you're doing your post, right? If that's the only way you take feedback, you're gonna lose. So if somebody's yelling in your face, but there may be a kernel of truth, amazing, thank you. So I have empathy for understanding this person's life must be terrible, that this is a highlight, and maybe there's a kernel of truth in here that I can learn from to make me better. I love learning from people that I don't like. I think your goal is to learn from anybody who can teach you. So if you guys have seen my office, the wall, I got Steve Jobs up there, Kanye West, a bunch of people. I don't want to be a father like Steve Jobs, but I want to learn how to be a visionary like Steve Jobs. So you could learn something from one person. Whether you're a Trump fan or a Trump hater or Obama fan, Obama hater, like you should be able to learn from both of them. I look at someone like Trump who, you know, what was his election promise? I want to build a wall. Okay, I want to build a wall. Great. You don't have to agree with the wall. But I knew what he wanted to do. Looking from the outside, looking from like Canada, looking down at the US, like what was happening in the campaign. What did Hillary stand for? I don't know. Not Trump. So Trump is great at having a big idea and being able to talk about it. Just use yours for positivity. Don't make yours being, I'm going to build a wall and shut people out. Use yours for positivity. People who you hate, who've had success, if you refuse to learn from them, you've boxed yourself in. If you only learn from people who look exactly like you or doing exactly what you're doing, you're losing. Trump doesn't care if you learn from him or not. But if you could pull one thing, because I think you can learn from everybody, as long as it's a positive message. Everything is believe, right? That's my one word, is what flows through all the content I make. There's never a negativity. There's never like yelling at somebody. There's never telling somebody that they're stupid. If I did the 10 stupidest Kanye moments of all time, I'm sure that video would blow up. But if I'm doing Kanye, I'm only showing the positive side of Kanye. That's the reason why I started the Top 10 series. Was because a friend of mine was dissing Kanye, and I'm like, somebody's got to stand up for Kanye. And he was talking about Taylor Swift and the Kanye moment, and it was like 7 years later, like, why are you still talking about this? And I think it's easy to see Kanye only for the negativity and the crazy stuff that he does, but there's also a lot of genius behind there that people don't see. You know, he's won more music awards than anybody at his age. You look at someone like John Legend. You know John Legend? John Legend, like he comes off as like the nicest guy of all time. His name is John Stevens. He got named John Legend because he's friends with Kanye. They're at a Chicago bar, and Kanye said, or John Legend said, I have a really old school voice. I got an old soul. And Kanye said, you should call yourself the Legend. And John's like, I can't call myself a legend. That's crazy. Like, no, you gotta change your name. Call yourself John Legend. So that's believe, right? Like believing in the guy. Otherwise it'd be John Stevens. And it seems weird that John Legend and Kanye West would be friends. They seem like two totally different characters. So I made the top 10 video, the very first one, on Kanye West, just to show Mark, my friend, who made the post on Kanye. He's like, even if you hate Kanye, you can learn a lot from him. And if you're unwilling to learn from Kanye, you've just locked yourself in. And so Mark saw the video and he commented on it, and his comment is actually the most like plussed or thumbs up comment on that video. And then that started the cascade of, okay, I want to profile more people, because I think you can learn from anybody who's had success.
Raise your standard.
Apple, at the core, its core value is that we believe that people with passion can change the world for the better.
Not one drop of my self-worth depends on your acceptance of me.
This interview was done as a part of my Toronto workshop. If you want more details on the next one to sign up, check out the link right there next to me. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.